Greetings, audience. I'm reviewing 2005 Fantastic Four movie. Thus, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because it doesn't make a lick of sense. It's brain-rotting retarded. It's funny as shit. And it has good childish humor. And some action here and there was comic book action. But the bare minimum of action. You have to wait till later in the third act when the action really starts happening. You know, to see some comic book action. Was the Fantastic Four and doing stuff. But in the meantime, you get to see villain Doctor Doom become Doctor Doom and kill people with comic book violence. Before the Fantastic Four stop him in the third act. And this movie is a good spoof on the Marvel genre with the beloved Fantastic Four characters, and it does a good job making fun of them. These beloved icons. And spoofing the characters. It feels like an intentional parody of the Fantastic Four comic books that Stanley and Jack Kirby worked on from 616 Universe in the comics world of comics. Michael Chick plays the Thing, and Jacaba plays the Invisible Girl, who gets changed later by the press into the Invisible Woman by the title. After Johnny gives her the title of the Invisible Girl, the press changes it to the Invisible Woman early on in the movie, and Johnny gives the team all four names for their superhero names and makes their costumes that they wear in the movie. It makes them known to the public. And he even gives his name to the Human Torch. He's played by Chris Evans. Johnny Storm. And, Mr. Fantastic is played by this actor, I forget his name is, but he's good in the movie too. We get some, most of the movie, is focused on the four basically just trying to cure each other, and Reeves trying to make this machine to fix Ben and cure him and make him Ben Grimm again, and so he's no longer a rock creature. And basically, he needs more power, even though the machine could work if it just needs more power. So, Doom helps re-cure Ben Grimm by, getting Ben Grimm to get into the machine and power the machine up with Dr. Doom's power. That also changed him due to the cosmic ray in outer space that they got hit with. And, that also gave Doom power in the continuity of Fantastic Four movie 2005. And the only reason why he helps Ben Grimm to cure himself is just so that nobody can stop him, not even the Thing, because basically the Thing was always the bronze of the is the bronze, and now that the Thing is Ben Grimm again, and the Thing is no longer the Thing, and no longer really has his strengths that was becoming the Thing. Now Doom is just going basically play God, and now he knows that Ben Grimm's out of his way. And he just needs to basically kill the four of them and play God, and with his new powers is what he wants. Just play God. Because he has a big ego. And he has got cut loose from this. He got cut loose. Now, I like this Dr. Doom a lot in this movie. He's a really good villain. This is the kind of villain you wish Marvel Studios put more effort in, instead of just killing them all off whenever they're good. What I liked about this movie is he never ever killed Doom off. They just basically had him on ice and saved him for the sequel, Fantastic Four: Rise of Silver Surfer of 2007. And they did a smart thing, is saving him for the sequel and not killing the fucker off. Dr. Doom. I'm glad they didn't kill off the villain. And they made him also another threat in the Fantastic Four: Rise of Silver Surfer movie. They made him a villain besides Galactus being a villain in a way of the Fantastic Four. And so I'm going to talk about that movie at a different time. The sequel. That's why I love Fantastic Four. And I like the nudie in this movie with Jessica Alba. The popcorn nudie scene with Jessica Alba stripping before she turns invisible as the Invisible Girl. It was very of a funny nude scene for me to watch, and it was funny shit. And I enjoy the comedic gag with Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm making Ben Grimm touch his face with shaving cream after tickling his nose. And we find out that Ben Grimm's ticklish. Or the shot when we see Mr. Fantastic reaching for a roll of toilet paper. Classic cinema. That's what we see, yeah, that's what he uses his powers for. Stretching to get a roll of toilet paper, fresh roll of toilet paper from the bathroom. Isn't this what you wanted to see, audience? I know this is what I want to see. This is a great comedy. Spoofing the Fantastic Four. I say, and I found out, now if you watch the commentary of this movie, you find out that that was their intention, to make it into a comedy of the Fantastic Four beloved characters from the comics. And make fun of the world. And treat it like a joke. You know this thing where, like, this scene with Ben Grimm after he's now with the Thing, and his wife leaves him, and leaves the wedding ring on the floor, and Michael Chiklis, Ben Grimm can't pick it up? Well, I found out only just by watching the commentary that the scene was supposed to more like go, like he was supposed to pick it up, the wedding ring, and basically just hold it and look at it, and but Michael Chiklis, Ben Grimm, Michael Chiklis had trouble picking the ring up within the costume that he was wearing as the thing. So it was kind of impossible for him to pick up because some reason it was so hard to pick up. So so that whole sad moment where you're feeling sympathy for Ben Grimm, that is accidental genius by improvising because the real Michael Chiklis couldn't actually pick up because he was in that Ben Grimm costume wearing a prosthetic costume, so he couldn't just pick up the ring like the script needed him to do on set in that scene. So one of the best scenes was completely had to be a wing it thing and improvise it and change what was in the script. One of the best things in the movie is it was changed. It's different than what was in the actual script. First, it was shot for the final movie. Also, I like the part when the bird basically shits on the thing. And you think that the bird and the thing's having a moment until the bird leaves the thing with shit on his shoulder. The bird just wanted to someplace with the shit. He wasn't really caring about the thing. He just wanted to shit on it because he thinks he's meant it to. Poor Ben Grimm. I feel sorry for him. Now I really feel sorry for this fucker because of birds shitting on him. Just casually. After standing on his shoulder for a bit, just leaves the shit on the shoulder. It was just funny. Also, I like the line that Michael Chiklis delivers, saying he wants to kill Johnny Storm for giving him the name The Thing. And he just goes to fight Johnny and just to whip his ass. It's so funny, which is the funniest thing in the movie. Now, the extended edition on DVD, exclusively on DVD, and fine, the extended edition on DVD, it has extra added things here and there, but it's basically the same movie. It's still pretty fun. I give the extended edition cut 10 out of 10 as well as the theatrical cut. What I liked about this movie is that it's like the Supergirl movie from the 70s. Or like the Christopher Reeve Superman 3 or Superman 4 or Quest for Peace. Or it's kind of like one of those movies, just weird for on the sakes. Even though it doesn't make any sense the more you think about it. So it's one of those movies you have to think less while you're watching it. You know, for a narrative story that's forward was the Fantastic Four. Because the thing is that this movie doesn't really have a story. It just feels like it's like a poking fun of several decades that the Fantastic Four were part of from Marvel Comics. Because Because it first does the origin story, then it makes the Fantastic Four public figures, like before, before they were just outcasts and not really public figures of heroes, like in the comics, and then they get the public persona of the Fantastic Four by the public noticing the one heroic deed they did that was kind of caused by them in the movie content. Them saving a giant, them stopping a giant accident was also the same accident they caused. But hey, they're heroes now, and they're loved by the public. And they can now get the Baxter Building and the costumes from the comics and shit like that. And they do rush it. All those decades of years. Yeah. And they play a mostly for laughs in style. With a dash of action here and there. And the action that they shot is pretty climax. Pretty cool of spectacle of action here and there. That they showed the bare minimum in the first one. I really appreciate the sequel for upping the amount of showing action for comic book action. Was the sequel, Fantastic Four: Rise of Silver Surfer from 2007, really did focus on upping the action and showing the action more often within the team dynamic was the Fantastic Four and how they operate. That was one of the perks of the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. One of the downsides was the glasses was a space cloud instead of the comic character we know and love, what he's supposed to look like. But one of the upside, now we want to talk about the Silver Surfer sequel, and I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Silver Surfer, played by Morbius, the actor who plays Morbius, plays the voice of Silver Surfer. There's actually two actors who plays the Silver Surfer. One's a physical actor, one's the voice actor. Voice actor is by Morbius. The guy that plays Morbius plays the voice of Silver Surfer. And he's good in the movie. He's got a good performance. Dr. Doom's back and he's good. The same guy played all the characters that played their roles in the first one reprised their roles for the sequel. And in this one, Reed and Susan are getting married, and that's the dilemma that they haven't got married yet and need to get married. And also Galactus and the Silver Surfer dude is coming to destroy Earth. And Reed decides to work on this device behind Sue's back, even though he said he wasn't going to help. He decided to help behind Sue's back because Sue is kind of this in this sequel is kind of like this selfish, shallow, inconsiderate bitch. They write her as in the sequel by making her want to punish Reeve just whenever he wants to save the planet or help save the planet from annihilating and ending. But Sue's more upset because he didn't keep true as well in this focus on the wedding that they need to throw. Because the wedding's more important than saving the lives on the planet Earth. You selfish bitch, Susan Storm. You made her in this movie, Fox. Whoever wrote her like that in the sequel, you did it. Whoever did that had the dumbest idea, because this makes this the worst character in the movie, in the sequel. And that's another problem with the sequel. The sequel goes through incredible things, making this four given reason to hate each other, and just arguing bicker, and disagree and can't focus on missions. You know, because the four Fantastic Four are going to split up because Johnny heard Susan once they get married, they want to have a kid, so they want to leave the superhero business behind them. Blah blah blah. And blah blah blah. Now the four all piss at each other and whine like a bunch of babies, and just, oh my god, it's not good drama, it's shitty drama. It's like the shitty CW drama after Arrow started making good episodes once season 3 finished wrapping up. And then you enter season 4. And then that's where, I think that's when season 4, the girl that he was committed to, was in a committed relationship with, so when Olive Queen was in a committed relationship with, and that his girlfriend leaves him once she has the ability to walk again, and leaves Oliver and dumps him. And we find out the stupidest reason in the later seasons after season 3 of Arrow. It's because she fell more for the hero. Oliver wasn't Oliver the person is kind of boring when he's not the hero, I guess, is what is explained in the stupid show in season 4 and beyond that. I stopped watching season 4 after season 4 and 5 is what I watched last. I mean, season 5 or 4 is when, after season 4 or 5 is when I stopped watching the show Arrow, CW show, because that's when it started going downhill to me, with the writing. Because it would force drama at the most unnecessary times. It's just bad drama. Like the bad drama in this Fantastic Four sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer. And why is it called Rise of the Silver Surfer? Well, it should be called is the disbandment of the Fantastic Four. Well, Fantastic Four disassembled or something like that. Because that's mostly what the movie focuses on. And I know that the Silver Surfer, that origin of the Silver Surfer, when something's called Rise of the Silver Surfer, you would think that we got origin story for the Silver Surfer, but no. Not in this movie when it's called Rise of the Silver Surfer. So it's almost like this movie doesn't know what the word, it's almost like this movie just has this like, I mean, I don't know why Silver Surfer's in it. I mean, Silver Surfer plays a small role. He doesn't play as big a role because seeing he's in the main title of the movie. And it's marketed after him, the sequel to the movie Fantastic Four. It's like, why would you even be able to use him if you only have him in the title? I don't know, and marketed so much shit around him. It just doesn't make sense to do that with the Surfer. But I liked him for what he was, this sequel. And the first one I liked. This movies are fun nonsense movies I found of comic book movies, the Fantastic Four by Fox. The first two ones by Fox. Now I'm going to talk about the last Fantastic Four movie by Fox from 2015. I give that a 10 out of 10 because it's slow pace and it moves at a snail's pace. Like the Fantastic, not the Fantastic Four, the X-Men from the 2000 movie. I mean, it's not a bad movie, it's just a slow burn movie. Like the X-Men movie from 2000. It moves at a slow pace. But it has more convincing visual than what you've seen from any CGI from Marvel now these days. It has more convincing visuals and practical effects than anything you have seen from Marvel Studios on the 616 universe now these days. That's still going on. today. So there's that of how good the CGI is. It looks like the CGI is like granted, the CGI is not most groundbreaking, but it's not awful. It's decent enough that you like the CGI looks convincing enough to and convinces the naked eye. The CGI does was the CGI in the movie Fantastic Four 2015. Sure, the movie felt like a lot of the movie didn't make sense, but neither did any of the other Fantastic Four movies I thought made sense. So I'm kind of used to that at that point in life. For the fantasy movie not to make sense, but at least be entertaining. And that's what this movie was. It was more of a serious approach to the previous Fox entries. The last Fox movie of the Fantastic Four. It feels like it takes its very inspiration from the first two Bryan Singer's X-Men movies, which taking more of a realistic, technological approach to the aesthetic look of the Fantastic Four, instead of the comic book look. So that means they have to come up with they came up with the original ideas to make these characters for the movie for these characters. They came up with original ideas to change the aesthetics and aging and change things here and there about the characters you know and love, visually and story-wise. I can see where they took inspiration from the first three X-Men movies from the original trilogy. I can see where they took inspiration from those X-Men movies by Fox. And I don't have anything wrong with that, them taking inspiration from the Bryan Singer's X-Men movies. Including, like, the first two Bryan Singer's X-Men movies, even. Like, this feels like more of a... Like, this feels, you know, I think I understand why people say this feels like more of a... Why some people say on the internet, this felt like more like an action movie than a Fantastic Four movie. It's because I think this feels more too realistic. Like, you know, from the Fox... It feels too similar... and realistic to the Fox Fantastic Four real world logic with their characters that they did with their Marvel characters on the Team X-Men. And that's why I give this movie a monkey... I mean, I give this a 10 out of 10. This third Fantastic Four movie by Fox Studios. It's not as good as the ones with the first two ones that Fox did. Or the one from 2005. But it's not, it's not like that much different in terms of quality storytelling, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, the story, because a lot of the story feels like it's been chopped and edited together. Well, that was actually kind of the problem with all the Fantastic Four movies, wasn't it? That Fox did in the previous two. And I don't see Marvel making a better movie than the 2005 one, or a more faithful representation of the comic than the 2005 Fantastic Four movie. And it looks like that they're not going to try to head in that direction, and it doesn't sound like they're going to even try to head in a more faithful direction with the Fantastic Four, while also taking the source material more seriously than the 2005 movie. Because 2005 we took it not seriously. We took it as a joke with the source material. And so maybe so you know, this makes me wonder. How much have we failed with the comic book genre? Or succeed? I'm not really sure if I made sense last time. I'm a little tired. I'm thirsty. You gotta get something to drink, okay? Okay. So my thoughts on the Fantastic Four movies by Fox is that they're absurd and ludicrous and bonkers and funny and shit and that stuff. And it makes some it's just like it's just like some of those movies that I got that's kind of funny to watch whether it's like potential or not, you know? And the thing is about the Fantastic Four movies, I think they're better. They're the best Fantastic Four movies to me. I think made the best franchise in the 2000s that made a franchise out of it. There was Blade in the 2000s, X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and that's and also and I'm only listing off the best franchise that Marvel brand related, okay? And I thought Fantastic Four was the best franchise out of all those ones. Short-lived franchise, and the second best franchise is X-Men, I think. For a comic book franchise. Third, I think, would have to be Blade. And the worst would definitely be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Franchise was definitely my least favorite in the 2000s. Or maybe I like the X-Men more than the first 2000s Fantastic Four movies. I'm not really sure. I think I back and forth between which I like more, X-Men or Fantastic Four movies from the 2000s. The original trilogy of X-Men or the original two Fantastic Four movies was the Fantastic Four by Fox. And that's my thoughts on the Fantastic Four movies. And goodbye, my audience. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like this video, I hope, and comment below to let me know which saw this. You can comment below if you want to. And I have a comment section below on now. And so, bye.